has been marked by dedication and an unwavering commitment to excellence. She has not only excelled as an athlete, but has also become a champion and a role model for so many, proving yet again that with determination, anything is possible. Today we recognize her outstanding achievements as an American gold and bronze medalist at the 2024 Olympics.
Georgetown County takes pride in recognizing the achievements of all of its residents. Today, we are recognizing one of our own, Ms. Medalist Jefferson. Georgetown County recognizes that by working together and being unified, we can achieve wonderful things. We can achieve the unachievable, we can attain the unattainable. And Melissa has demonstrated to us by teamwork that is possible. On behalf of the Georgetown County Council, we are here to proclaim today, Medalist Jefferson Day, by issuing this proclamation on your behalf. In her honor and in recognition of her exemplary achievements, Georgetown County Council does proclaim October 12th, 2024 as Medalist Jefferson's Day.
Now, somebody told me, now, Mary, remember now, she's just not a champion for Dunbar. We know you're proud. But remember, she represents Dunbar, Georgetown, South Carolina, South Carolina, the state, and the United States of America. You know, Melissa, I don't know if Melissa knows this, but Dunbar right now, the population is less than 1,000. But we accomplish great things. And we are right along the Black River. That's where we're located. And if you're traveling to Dunbar, don't blink, because by the time you blink, you miss the entire area. But there are some things in Dunbar that will produce an Olympic champion. Strong family values. We believe in family, and we support our family.
But I stand as a proud former principal, twice removed, of Melissa. I was principal at Browns Ferry Elementary School, and Melissa was just that humble student. We moved to Carters Bay High School, and Melissa was still that same excellent student that she is now on the track and field. So we say congratulations and thank you for being a role model. Thank you for being an inspiration. And this school year, we have taken your energy. And we started the year with the Team GCSD motto, which is all built around let's move and celebrate that Olympic spirit. So we have embodied that, and in one of the projects at Walkable High School, Mr. Peterman, our track coach, he had his students to do Olympic research, and one student in particular researched you. Her name is Roxy Tipton. And Roxy, at the end of her project, made a portrait. So on behalf of Georgetown County School District and Roxy Tipton, I think it's the same picture that's on your program if you all notice it. We present this to you on this Medalist Jefferson Day, and we say thank you and we love you.
I've been following this young girl for a few years now and continue to be in awe over everything about her, from her demeanor, her humbleness, and just the person that Melissa is. And, you know, children don't grow up like this without fabulous parents. They rock too. Thank you. I have a proclamation it is my honor to proclaim today Melissa Jefferson Day in the city of Georgetown.
Jefferson. How y'all doing? That's good. Y'all look so nice out there. Wow. Y'all have to excuse me though, because if y'all know me for real, you know, all this, everyone being here to celebrate me is a lot, okay? I'm more so like, oh yeah, I went to Paris, I got 2 medals. But honestly and truthfully, I couldn't be more proud and grateful and humble to stand before each and every person in this building right now. And the first thing I just want to say to all of you is thank you. This year alone has been one for the books for me, and there's so much more that went into these 2 medals outside of just running or being at Paris. The first step was getting there. And so when I got down to Florida, we started training, and I said, well, this is hard. I was doing workouts I had never done in my life. I was like, how do I get up out of here? Because this is not it. And in that moment, just trying to adapt, because I trained with TT Terry and Sha'Carri Richardson and a lot of other talented athletes as well, we bring a certain level of intensity and competitiveness to practice every day. So when I come up off the couch from not training for 2 months, and everybody can get through the workouts, even though it's my first time around with a new coach, a new training system, but I'm in the back of the pack. I don't do much like that, right? But at the time, I had other things that was going on. I started out this season with a lingering issue or injury from the year before. And that was something that just had to be navigated. It was something where it had been manageable before, knowing what I could and couldn't take. But this time around, it just wasn't doing that, especially with me being in a new training system. And so I spent a lot of time, I actually spent about 2 months not training with the group at all. A lot of people don't know that, but I could barely walk. I was limping around the house. I do this thing, my family think I'm crazy, but if I could right now, I'd run from here to the wall and back for no reason at all. It was things like that I realized I couldn't do the things that I normally do. And so it was finding creative ways to still get the work in, but not fall too behind with the rest of the training group. But I stayed true to myself, you know, I kept the faith, I trusted God through it all. I had Roland and Sonia who was there most of the time. I live with Roland. And then I talked to Sonia almost every single day, and then along with my parents and others as well, just checking in with them and them checking on me, making sure that mentally I'm still here and not losing sight of the goal, because the goal was to get to Paris. And 10 months out from that, I didn't know how that looked, because if anyone saw me then there was like, there's no way this girl is going to do this, right? Glad it's not up to other people, by the way. And so things started to get better, started trending in the right direction. And then one day, my coach told me, he said, Melissa, you know, your body isn't where it needs to be right now, but you need to tell yourself mentally that you're there. So when the time comes when your body actually gets up to where your mind is, you're good. And so that's what I started to do. Because like Coach Sandy said, one thing I will do is listen. I listen and apply things to my life when necessary. And so I started to do that. We would do this thing where we have block starts on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And when I finally was able to get back with the group and do block starts, I was getting my butt cut every single day. And I did not like it. I would come home and roll in the ass, well, how was practice? And I was like, it
It was all right. I was like, what does that mean? I'm like, it was all right. You know, it was better than the next day or the day before. And so after a while, I kind of stopped being so complacent or so content with the fact that practice was all right. I was getting upset, but in a good way, something that motivated me to be a better person than I was the day before. And that's someone that I've always been. I always want to be someone better than I am the day before. And so I got to the part in practice where, you know, I was starting to win the reps in practice. And there was this thing where my teammates and everything, I was bringing that same level of intensity that they were bringing. And so it wasn't like I was being left behind anymore. I had caught up with the pack. And in that moment, all I could think about was where I started at. I could barely walk. And things like that, you never take for granted once you get back around to doing what it is you can do. And just a little side note, for those of you out there, everyone's path is different. You may start one place, but where you end up at could be way further than you ever imagined. So keep going. And so we get to the season because frankly, my coach didn't think with the way my injury was going that I would be able to even start racing the same time my teammates were. By the time the season got to starting, I was racing every weekend and I started winning again. I started learning what it felt like to be a winner again. And not that my rookie year was something that was to look down on, but it wasn't who Melissa is, and that stung. And so I really took this first half of the year with racing, just taking my time, being in the moment. I've been saying it all year, and you guys can probably see it. It's one day, one practice, one meet at a time, because that's all I could do. I was no longer trying to get to Paris. I was like, okay, how do we take where I am right now and better it for the next day? It was coming to a point to where I would go to practice happy because I knew that I could reach and strive for times that I couldn't hit 2 months ago. And for me, those were the small wins. I started to learn how to take the small wins again and build on those. And so by the time you saw me lining up in Paris, or not in Paris, but at Olympic trials, it was like, okay, I'm ready, let's go, let's do it. I was fired up and ready to go. And so after making the team, everyone was happy, I was happy because I knew where I had just came from. And not only that, my family, we went through 2 pretty big deaths in a matter of about 3 weeks. And just not being able to be there for my family, once again, the sacrifices. I was able to come home for my mom's oldest sister funeral, and then 3 weeks later, I had to miss my Uncle Joby's memorial service. But in that moment, all I could hear were the 2 of them telling me, you know, how proud they are of me and how far I've gotten. Sometimes people really don't understand how much you go through to get to where you are. A lot of people, and it may be a lot of people in here today, you see the medals and you see the accolades, and everyone has such nice things to say about me. But the battles and everything that I went through this year to get to this very point has been so hard and so tough. But I never lost my faith in God. He's always had my back. And even when things weren't looking on the up and up, He surrounded me with people who told me that they loved me and supported me no matter what. Sorry, gotta do this. Y'all see this guy right here? Without him, I don't know where I would be right now. Because on those days where it was really hard and I was just learning to be content with who I was and where I was in the moment, he was the person telling me to stay uncomfortable, to not get comfortable, to push myself even when I was hurting. And all the time, yes, I didn't want to hear it, but it was something that needed to be said. that you see up here, they pushed me in ways that I didn't know I could be pushed. Whether that's loving me when I'm getting dead last in a race, or whether that's telling me you're better than that, pick yourself up and go at it again. Those people are why I'm standing right here. And a lot of the times, you know, I am as humble as I am because I know I didn't get to where I am alone. And so I really just want to say, because I feel like I'm talking a lot now, but I really just want to say thank you to each and every one of you who are here today to celebrate me. And you know what I'm saying, I'm just throwing back on y'all. Thank you for celebrating us, because we did it, Joe, okay? and just to mention, you know, not only is Roland there, but my parents, y'all know, we like the three amigos that go way back. Riding to church 45 minutes down the road every morning to, you know, just always being with my parents and having them love and support me for, I'm not going to go down the list to calling out people because I'm going to forget. So I'm going to leave it at the parents, and that's the takeaway out. My people know who they are and what they do for me, so, you know, that don't have to be explained. But I just want to say thank you to each and every person, to everyone who had a part in making this day Melissa Jefferson Day. Thank you. From Uncle Harvey with the decorations and putting everything together, to Principal Young for MC